he's going to be able to escape.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Let's talk about these last two quarterbacks, the two guys we haven't touched on. The two guys I don't think are going to do much for you in the next coming years. First is Kevin Thompson. The dude's old.
Yeah,
he's actually like older than Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, he's like 24, maybe 23.
He's pushing mid 25 right now.
Yeah,
he's like a week or two older than Patrick Mahomes in the NFL.
He's a graduate transfer from Sacramento State. Before then, he was at another state for school for 2 years. I can't quite place it. And I mean, he played good. He was the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, Big Sky. He played good in the Big Sky Conference. That means nothing.
There, 9-4, 3,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. But what I don't like graduate transfers. I'm not a big fan of them, especially at the quarterback position. When you want your quarterback to be someone who's with the program for 3-4 years, you don't want someone just to be a placeholder, especially when you have these young talents like Dylan Morris, Ethan Garbers. You've got these young guys who need to just get playing experience. You don't want them sitting behind Kevin Thompson, who I don't think he can do that special of.
I don't know why we picked – actually, I take that back. I know why we picked up Kevin Thompson, and it was to make these young guys feel like their job and their position was under attack. I mean, the kid has been around college football for a very long time. I don't know if
I'd call him a kid.
You're right. I shouldn't be calling him a kid. This grown man has been around college football for a very long time. He knows what he's doing with offenses, and he's been in tough situations. I don't think he was a smart pickup. He was not a smart pickup. Yeah, outside of the fact that, yes, he might be lighting a fire under these kids' butts to get them worked up for the season that's coming up. But, I mean, when you look at his numbers and what he's done, like, yes, he was in Big Sky country, and he racked up these huge amounts of, like, passing yardages. But when he comes in, it's a brand new offense. In reality, in, like, the coach's eyes, I don't think he's making – I'd be amazed if he makes third slot for the board. I doubt he's any higher than third string.
I mean, and then besides him, we've also got Jacob Sermon, who he's a popular pick. A lot of people would pick him to be the starter.
Of course.
But, I mean, he's 6'5", 235 yards. He's like a Jacob Eason twin. He's got a cannon for an arm. But he's really coming into the same situation as these freshmen. He's new offense. He's got to learn that. And then with him, you'd only get another 1-2 years.
I will say, though, for him, though, he has been around for 2 years. So I mean, like, okay, so he knows where, like, the water cooler is. Like, he knows where the extra water coolers are compared to the newer guys. But one thing I think that this means is from the coach's perspective, and the reason I call this kid a dark horse is because from the coach's perspective, he's been there and the coaches know who he is. When you're putting in a new offense, you want as few variables as possible because you're already experimenting with all of these things that your players are trying to learn on the fly, and the only person who has the entire plan in their head is the OC. And so what you want is less variables. And right now, the reason I have Jacob Sermon like listed as dark horse on this dumb piece of paper with blue ink is because he's been around and the coaches know what he can do.
Yeah, the coaches know what he can do. And he hasn't been able to win the starting job the last 2 years. So I don't know what'll make him better this year. Maybe he had a great offseason in this quarantine time. I don't know how he would have done that. But maybe he'll improve and he might be able to win the job just with his experience. The coaches know him. But I bring it back again to you want a young quarterback, I feel, who then –
yeah, like Dylan Morris.
Yeah, well, Dylan Morris or Ethan Garbers. Those are my top two. I'm siding with Ethan Garbers just off of his flexibility. But, you want a young quarterback, 4 years in the program. By his junior year, hopefully we're back in the college football playoffs.